What
are you doing now? Yes, because right now people will say, at least as state government, you can monitor the air. You can find out what is, we can find out what precisely is happening to the air currently as we speak.
Yes.
We can provide masks for people. There can be more education about the awareness,
of what
is going on.
That there don't be awareness, there don't be sensitization. Who is saying this?
Are you doing that?
Of course. Minister of Environment is doing that. As I speak to you, Shell, Universal Government, the 3 oil majors were working on something which they have provided to support. You see, people let me tell you, the issue of suit, is it being selective? Does it only affect some people and not affect some people? Universal Government House, is it outside a river state? So why would I not be concerned about it? But the point I'm making is that why should we play politics in everything? This is an issue that affects the health of the people. It doesn't matter the party you belong to. Environmental pollution does not know whether you belong to ADC, APC, or PDP. And therefore, you must come together to tackle that issue. But rather, instead of the government to support in doing that, they think they can make a political gain out of it. That's the point I'm making. Which unfortunately cannot work here.
What sort of political gain? What sort of political gain do you think that is?
If you ask what sort of political gain, I told you Minister of Transportation came at the airport. They tell you, the government is insensitive about the plight of the people. That if they vote them in, that they will stop the issue of suit in 6 months. Is that not politics? But the people know it's not correct.
Isn't it for you to show that you are very sensitive about the plight of the people?
That's the point I'm telling you. That's why I say Rivers people are so mature and are so aware that they are playing politics out of this. They know that Rivers State government are taking steps in trying to reduce the effect of this. But like I said, the issue here is they cannot campaign, they cannot say anything again about the state government that look at the money the state government is getting. They are doing nothing. Now, nobody can say that. They have been overwhelmed. So the only thing you have now, let's say we're talking about this issue, which of course people don't, you can't use that. Because it is the federal government that ought to lead that. And we don't play politics because you don't belong to a party. And therefore you want to suffocate the people. You want the people to look, we cannot continue. Let's now go and support these people so that we're able to. That's the political game I'm talking about. But the people are so aware that it cannot work that way. So for us, as a people, we are saying, look, governance is governance. You cannot play politics in everything that you are doing. I have challenged anybody who said, is there anything that has to do with synergizing with the federal government or into partnership? Okay, look at the one of the offices that will, the complexes that will be commissioned in May 28th by the European ambassador. Federal government have agencies, they have offices there. Go to the one in Aba Road. They have never one day. These are step up, but they've never one day. For years, they just kept it that way. I have vetted the buildings, I've done it very well, I'm still going to give them back. But the point is, the point you are saying, partnering. I have given you so many cases what we have done.
If I follow up on that issue as well about the environment, what's the state government's plan to perhaps build or expand on the recycling infrastructure in the state?
Now, when you say recycling in terms of...
Because you see lots of tires everywhere. People could be tempted to just light up anyone.
Just like I said, we have tried to work some investors. Like if you're going to... Okay, look at the tires. It is the state government that goes around to pick all those tires so that hoodlums don't go and burn them. Of course, they are here, there's something they collect from it. Now, we are spending money in making sure that they don't. But for now, we're trying to, there's an investor that has come. And of course, you don't expect that it takes just within 1 month and it is done. No. Mind you, it's an investor that coming from overseas. So there are procedures, there are steps. But the good thing is that we have agreed for them to set up a plant on how this used tires can be recycled. That's one. But you cannot achieve it just within 2 days. Government government cannot just wake up and say, okay, we're establishing a plant.
What's the target?
Well, if you ask me target, it would be unfair, but I think that what I like it unfair, you cannot have that just within 6 months. It's not possible. It's not possible. And the truth must be told.
So is it likely that that may not be completed within the remaining 4 years? Or if you started, you like to see how you could take it further?
Obviously, it is my intention that if it can be done within the next 1 year, I'll be very happy. But again, mind you, you are not bringing the funds, it's a private investor. Ours to provide the site or the land, conducive environment, making sure that some of the legal document titles, you don't allow procedures to delay them. Is there a sense of the title documents? These are things that we have. If I were even going further, that look, it doesn't matter if the state is willing to commit some funds. It doesn't matter. To tell you the seriousness and importance we take on this issue. And we have even gone further to say, okay, 60-40. Apart from the fact that we are providing the other facilities, but we are ready to provide whatever is the cost, 40% of that. It's a serious issue for us. Now, you wake up in the morning, or you come out in the night, you see smoke somewhere. There was a day I was coming from Bori, from Oyibo, Aba Road. So I saw smoke. That's where the smoke coming from. So I told my security, look, let's go and identify where the smoke is coming from. Do you know when we got there? So heaps of tires, they were burning. We arrested about 7 of the boys that day, and we shot them to court.
Didn't know what they were doing was bad?
The ones that they know.
Why were they doing it?
Well, I believe they said that there's a particular thing that is in that fire that they always get from.
Oh yes, recycled copper.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Copper. So for them, but you see, you cannot pollute the environment because of your own interest. Mm-hmm. So if you go along this way, you will see over 5,000. What is 5,000? Over 10,000 unused tires that we have just seized. So when people think government is doing nothing, if we are not taking those steps and you burn such number of tires, what would have happened? So, so there are things you do that short term. There are things you do you achieve long term.
But if I could come in, this project that you're commissioning, it takes funds to get them up and running. But we see that the IGR of the state increased by just a little over 4%. Does that mean that...
How did you come about over 4%?
Yeah, because that's what we see here from data from MBS. Or what's the percentage of the IGR between 2016 and 17?
No, you see, that is why people should... As at the time we came, what was the IGR? Before anybody would talk about 4%. But when we came to 2015, we were within 4.55 billion. Now we're 8 billion. How could that be 4%?
He talked about 2016 to 2017.
No, that's what I'm saying. I said we were 4.5 to 5, not even constant. Sometimes 4.5. Sometimes 5.
So now you're on 8 billion constant.
Yes. So that
the question is the amount of infrastructure which you're hoping to build. I mean, can the 8 billion which you're generating fund it?
The point is, why not? The point is that we have been able to reduce our recurrent expenditure drastically.
How did you do that?
Why? It was a policy of us. Before we came here, the recurrent expenditure monthly of all the means is 1.8 billion. But today, what we spend is about 700 million.
How did you reduce it?
How will I not reduce it? This is your priority. It may hurt some people, but it's unfortunate. It may hurt some people, but it's unfortunate.
So you say you're operating a lean government?
Of course. How would we have achieved this in 3 years? It's not possible. It's not possible.
But in spite of this, they still say that you haven't empowered the private sector enough.
How? How?
What's the level?
Let me tell you, when you talk about private sector, how? Take, for example, I did promise the private sector, one, to create an enabling environment to make sure that the issue of insecurity does not affect investment. Two, part of the problem of private investors or private investment in this state, that look, they have no access to title documents that will use to access funds. As I speak to you, I challenge anybody since 2015 till now. If I've not signed CFOs, I've signed not less than 3,000 CFOs. Previous administration of 8 years did not sign 500 CFOs, 8 years. Administration of 3 years, you have signed 3,000. So how? When you say you are not, how are you not encouraging? Do you bring out money and give to a private investor? How?
They argue that your projects are not people-centric and that they are bogus.
Who take for example, okay, who defines that? Okay, how? Take for example.
We need to go to break. That's why we paused that, but we'll come back and let you respond to it in just a moment. Don't go away.